What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about auction today. Bounce token. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Auction. One of the longest tickers you'll ever type in. Bounce would have been better, I think, but whatever. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it should have just been bounce or BNC or whatever. Anyways, $11.53. Who cares what I got to say? If we look at this from a low to a high, I bet you do. That's why you're here. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hold on. Wait now. Hold up now. Let me make sure that everything's good. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Got to get the camera on point. From a low to a high, we've pulled down to the 0.5. Finding support right in the kind of the crux of this move up here, right? We had this little consolidation phase. We're right here finding support. We could go lower. Absolutely, we could. We could go all the way down to 10 bucks. It's a nice psychological level for support down there. You got $11.53 right now. I normally wouldn't call for you to find support at the 0.5, but so many cryptos recently, you guys, have been finding significance at their 0.5, whether it's support, whether it's resistance. It just seems to be an area that we're finding some significance at. So I wouldn't throw it out the window yet that you could bounce from here. Quite literally, no pun intended, bounce from here. If not, do expect $10.20, $9.50, something like that, something in this kind of area, find support, and then move up. That would be the worst of it, right? That could happen. Let's look at the daily RSI and see if that happens. Daily RSI would suggest you go lower, to be completely fair. Oh, but if you bounce here, if today can close red, that would actually be a nice premise to bounce from. Off of this 40 area, that would be a good look. If today can close green and not close red. If today can close green. I don't know if I said if today closes red. I meant today closes green. 4-hour time frame in a downward sloping trend. It doesn't mean today has to close red. Just looking at it, I want to say you go lower, but I'm super hesitant on that, right? Like you might go to $10.18, or this could really be the bouncing part. So I'm going to call for you to go lower, but understand I'm somewhat expecting that I could be wrong. So right around 10 bucks, 10 bucks to 9.50, likely closer to $10. Likely you don't go below $10, or if you do, it's not going to be that much significantly lower than $10, right? Whenever it does come time to bounce, when it comes time to move up again, I assume that you will be breaking out of this overall downtrend that you're in right here. If we look at this high to this low, breaking out would result in something of a move that would take you, I think, to $23 to $26. So you'd probably immediately, once you find support around this area, you would likely move. Man, this actually makes me think even more that you're probably not going to go lower, to be completely fair. I changed my mind. I don't think you go to 10 bucks, man. I think you find support here. The next move up is going to be to 23 to 26 bucks. 23 to 26 bucks, and watch it go to 10 bucks now that I finally changed my mind. It's tricky. It's definitely tricky right here. I'm not going to lie. Golden ratio 23 to 27 bucks is what I would expect. You probably do find resistance there because you will be freshly breaking out of this downtrend. Probably come back down and find support at this area of resistance here where you wicked recently, right there, right? Finding support right in this zone here. And then from there, continue to move up. Now, the way I have it drawn, this is going to take until July. I don't think it's going to take till July, man. I think in a matter of weeks, if not by the end of next week, you will be at 23 to 26 bucks. This thing moved up with a purpose last time. While all these cryptos, this is what I mean. Let me tell you what I mean whenever I say moved up with a purpose. You guys remember, right, what happened in the month of February? Do you remember what happened in the month of February? I remember what happened. Everything moved down. Everything was stagnant. It was bad. But for bounce, from February 3rd and onward, it basically just grew. I guess these first few days afterwards, but it just grew. It continued to grow. And then literally until the end of the month here. There was the tariff scares. There was all kinds of negative news that came out and stuff like that. And it didn't care, man. It kept moving down. Quite literally just kept moving down. I mean, up. It didn't move down. It just kept moving up. And here we are at the 236. It's very, very common when interacting with this zone here to pull back, find support at the 236, and then run up to the golden ratio. And I think that's exactly what you're going to do. To encourage that, it would be nice if today could close green. You got 20 hours, 43 minutes left. 4-hour looks like it wants to go down a little bit. What about the 1 hour? 1 hour also looks like it wants to go down a little bit. Not encouraging. So I'm really setting myself up to be wrong here, but I'm just basically expecting a random bounce that doesn't make sense because the RSI, everything about it would suggest that you go lower. The only thing that I'm weighing on is this very significant thing that we do in the fibs, okay? Which from a high to a low, this is a pretty significant time frame from December 2023 to February of 2025. I would think pulling back to the 236, finding support here, an area that you found support at tons of times before. Support back here, resistance right there, a significant area. Might be a prime setup to see this kind of endeavor. It's very common to go from your 382.5 area to your 236 and then up. Inevitably, I would assume that it doesn't stop there by the end of March, right? I'm thinking this is going to be like 2 weeks from now, maybe even by the end of next week. By the end of March, we are looking for targets that are anywhere at new highs above this, right? Something you got $11 now. You could be maybe, if not above this high at $48, but around there. Something I would say at least at $40 to $50, if not above there. If we take this pivot here, it might give us a little bit more clarity. Let's see from a high to a low. The 1618 perhaps. I think by the end of March, perhaps bounce does see a move up that takes it all the way up to like $57. At a minimum, I would think something around $40 would be on the table. And then higher targets than that, of course, are still on the table, and they come and play in April. I believe that bounce here at $11.50 will be worth $81, $82 by the end of April, if not as high as $160 by the end of April. That's a crazy move, right? That is some crazy stuff that we're talking about. If we look at this, I'm talking about a move overall that is going to be about a 7x to potentially something of about like a 13, 14x by the end of April. If not sooner, you never know. But this thing, when it moves up, it does like to move up. And make no mistake, guys, this was a very long-lived phase of accumulation. And you had this amazing rip. Very constructive, methodical movement down. When you break out of this, I would assume you see a move of a similar magnitude happen. And it probably is going to be stronger. Probably. We take this move, which was an 11x, and if we were to put this at the low and assume that this was the area that we bounced from, that takes us to the minimum target of about $82, which from the current price would again give you about a 7x. Now, if we don't stop there, $100 at the 1414, that seems like a good psychological area of resistance. I like that. I really do think that you'll stop somewhere between 82 to 107 when this endeavor is all said and done. If not, potentially, you could go all the way up to $160. It's very common with the 1414 to wick above it. The only reason why I'm not mentioning that here is that that's also the $100 area. I think you'd find resistance there as a psychological point of resistance, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. If we look at this from an overall all-time high to the all-time low, this kind of endeavor here, the true minimum target would be at 16. It's right at that 1618, man. So I don't know. There's some validity to that notion. Inevitably, I think auction does see prices above $160, above $300, and onward. Right. I would expect that we are going to see targets at least at 456 whenever the cycle's over. You're at $11.05 now, guys. You know what I'm talking about. You know what that means. This thing is going to see a multi-100x. No guarantees. Not. Oh no. I'm sorry. I said multi-100x. Oh man, I did my math wrong. Nope, that's about a 40x. My bad. That's about a 40x at a minimum, though, right? That's what I was thinking would be a good minimum target end of cycle. If we hit the 1886, which is all the way at a $1,000 price, nice psychological level of resistance there, we could find that auction only sees an 88x. I say only, just because I was saying a multi-100x. So now 87, 88x. That seems a lot smaller. Got a little overzealous there. I did the math wrong. My bad, you guys. The 2272 is also a very common area that a lot of cryptos like to interact with whenever it comes to going to new cycle highs from their prior cycle highs. Oftentimes you do see cryptos go anywhere from their 1618 to their 2272. Don't believe me? Find a crypto that's existed for at least one cycle, or at least came out at the end of last cycle like this one did. Find any cryptos. Actually, you couldn't do that, could you? Because they don't have the end of this cycle. Find a crypto that's existed for multiple cycles, and tell me if they don't interact with their golden ratio and 2272 areas on their next cycles. Coins like Bitcoin, coins like Dogecoin, coins like Cardano, Ethereum, probably not XRP because it consolidated for so long, right? But stuff like that does break out to new all-time highs. Whatever coin you choose, it's been around probably since, you'd have to say, at least since the 2017 cycle there. And prove me wrong, man. Most of them stop at their 1618 on a low scale, and obviously, I think most of them actually do hit their 2272, if not the 1886. I'm not saying that this one has to, but if we look at auction, we look at it on a market cap basis here. Auction, that is a $75 million market cap. You guys, the coins that see multi-100x's in every single cycle, the one thing they have in common is they start from very humble beginnings. They start from market caps that are at less than $100 million, less than $500 million, right? The coins that see 100x or more are coins like this. Now, does that mean that this has to happen? No, it doesn't have to happen. We could stop at any other price in between, right? We really could. We don't have to hit 100x. There are targets, there are reasons to believe to stop just below that at about a 90x, right? And of course, you could stop even lower than that, but I would anticipate that you at least get to new all-time highs by the end of the cycle. And if we're calling for you to be around $161 to $82 by the end of this move in April, I'm very confident that by the end of this year, you guys, you could be a lot higher than that. Okay, that's my expectations. I think I've said everything I need to say in this video. I don't think I need to say anything more. We're at $11.47 now. The possibility to go down to $10, $9.50 is there, but I don't think we do. I would assume that today, if it closes green, would be a very good look because we get a nice bounce off of the 40 area on the RSI. We look at the 4-hour time frame here. Again, there's nothing really bullish to go off of. I remember now, yeah, at the beginning of the video, 4 hour, 1 hour, it's all kind of bearish looking. So I'm going against the RSIs and I'm sticking with the fibs on this one. We'll see if it prevails. If not, don't hate me. It might go down to $10. And if it does, it's just a better buying opportunity. It really is. But oftentimes with corrective moves, and I don't know about you guys, but this is a rather sharp, nice bull trend here. This would be the correction. Normally with corrections, you get a 1, 2, 3 count to the downside, right? That's as defined by kind of Elliot waves here. Elliot correction wave, it would be a 1, 2, 3, except that one's an upward sloping correction. If it was downward, it'd be like this. And that seems to me to be a 1, 2, 3. If we were to do 3, 4, 5, that's not really too common in my opinion, but it could happen. I don't know. I'm not the most experted person on Elliott wave theory, but Elliott wave, I suppose, and fibs both agree, or at least suggest that we're at our low right now. This might be the most opportunistic moment to buy auction since it had its high. And if not, we'll probably make this trend down. We'll complete this move to about $10, $9.50 over the coming days. And then throughout the rest of this month, going into the end of the month of March and the end of the month of April, we will continue to climb. I got nothing else for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.